Ask the Pastor about cremation and the afterlife. I'm doing this series right now where I've asked members of my congregation to submit questions they were curious about. And one of the questions was the stance of the United Methodist Church when it comes to cremation. And there are a lot of different answers in different denominations, but in ours, we believe that it comes down to the personal preference of the individual. On Ash Wednesday, we say something that basically says, we say, "You are dust, and by dust you shall return." It comes from Genesis 3:19. "By the sweat of your face you shall eat bread until you return to the ground, for out of it you were taken, you are dust, and dust you shall return." And then we also see this, that in 1 Corinthians 15, in verses 42 through 49, it says, "So it is with the resurrection of the dead. What is sown is perishable. What is raised is imperishable. It is sown in dishonor, it is raised in glory. It is sown in weakness, it is raised in power. It is sown in a physical body, it is raised a spiritual body. If there is a spiritual body, if there's a physical body, there's also a spiritual body. Thus it is written, the first man, Adam, became a living being. The last Adam became a life-giving spirit. But it is not the spiritual that is first, but the physical, then the spiritual. First man was from the earth, made of dust, and the second man is from heaven, that being Jesus. And as one of dust, so those who are of dust and those who are of heaven, so are those who are of heaven. Just as we have borne the image of the one of dust, we will bear the image of the one of heaven." And cremation in Old Testament times was used for one of two reasons. It was used to either be a curse when the Israelites stoned Achan to death and then burned his body. Also in 1 Samuel, where Saul and his 3 sons were burned so their remains would not be mutilated by the Philistines. In 2015, cremation actually overtook traditional burial as a common practice. We don't have in the United Methodist Church a specific official statement that either endorses or condemns cremation. And kind of the way I can see it is like this. If God can create us from dirt, if God can create something out of nothing, then God can surely resurrect a pile of ashes into an immortal being. In fact, even in our ritual of the church, our service of death and resurrection, we actually do have references to use of an urn if necessary. But I hope you have a blessed day, and remember, God loves you, and so do I.